You have made the difference. I have never seen, and no one in this building has ever seen, the kind of intensity, the kind of engaged involvement that you've brought to this issue. On one nomination, just on one in our office, over 100,000 contacts just in our office. Thank you for doing that. Now, we have other speakers behind me. I'll be very brief. Let me make just 2 points. Number one, as a representative of a state where public education literally started in the 1830s, way back in the beginning of our public education debate back in the 1830s. At that time, there was a debate about whether to move forward or not in the state of Pennsylvania. And from that day forward, we have always asked our federal government to have champions of public education lead that department here in Washington. That is not much to ask of a Secretary of Education, to be a champion for public education, to be a champion for children with disabilities, to be a champion of moving our country forward. That's what we want, and that's what we're not doing in this nominee. When I sat in my office a couple of weeks ago with Betsy DeVos, when I was walking through a series of questions, at one moment, I felt the need to say to her directly, and I couldn't believe that I even had to think about this, but I did because of the answers to questions I was asking her. I said, you are not, if you're confirmed, you are not going to be the Secretary of Private Education. You're going to be the Secretary of Education. And at that moment, she looked at me, and I could tell from her response and her look that she didn't quite agree with me. So for that reason, because of her lack of commitment to public education, because of her hostility to parts of our education system, because of her response to my questions about what we should do to make sure that victims of sexual assault on our college campus are protected. For all those reasons and more, I've said clearly I'm voting against Betsy DeVos in the vote tomorrow. But we have one more vote to get. You know that, and we have only about 18 hours to go. I'm going to be on tonight at midnight. I know you're going to be tuned in to watch my remarks. But I want you to know that we're going to fight all through the night, into the morning and into that vote, to make sure that we get that one vote to stop Betsy DeVos from being confirmed. So with that, just one more.